Hello, my fellow young educators. Today, I am going to define what is special education and inclusive education. This will be our first topic in our subject. So, what is special education? When we say special education, it is individualized education for children with special needs. It refers to the specially designed instruction to meet unique needs and abilities of exception students. Sa madaling salita, ang instruction sa special education is specially designed to the learners with unique needs. Special education pertains to the education of students with special needs in a way that addresses the students' individual differences and needs. We are done defining what is special education. Now let's move on to inclusion program. So what is inclusion program? The term inclusion captures in one word an all-embracing societal ideology regarding individuals with disabilities and special education. Inclusion secures opportunities for students with disabilities to learn alongside their non-disabled peers in general education. Inclusion is an educational approach and philosophy that provides all students with community membership and greater opportunities for academic and social achievement. Sa madaling salita, inclusion is an educational approach intended for the learners with disabilities, for them or to entitle them to be included in a general education. Now, let us define what is inclusive education. Inclusive education is a new approach towards educating the children with disability and learning difficulties without normal ones with the same roof. It is also defined as a learning environment that promotes full personal, academic, and professional development of all learners irrespective of race, class, color, gender, disability, sexual preference, learning styles, and language. Inclusive education as defined by NCF 2005. Disability is a social responsibility. Failure of a child is an indication of failure of school. Remove social, physical, and attitudinal barriers. Learning together is beneficial for every child, and inculcate mutual respect and interdependence. What are the aims and objectives of inclusive education? First, education for all, protection of rights, identification of skills, development of social consciousness, to prepare for new challenges, development of brotherhood, to improve quality education. What is inclusion core principle of K-12? Well, it promotes institutional sensitivity and responsive of nature, situation, realities of the learners. So, in inclusive education policy perspective of K-12, it realized through learner-centered and context-responsive programs. So, here are the guiding principles of inclusive education. First, responsiveness to rights. Second, the sensitivity and responsiveness to context. Third, inclusion recognizes and respects learners' rights to relevant and responsive to their context. So now let's move on to the principles of inclusive education. So first is no discrimination with students. Second, equal educational opportunity to all. Third, school adapt to the need of student. Next, equal educational benefits for all students. Next, the students' views are listened to and taken seriously. And last, individual differences between students are the source of richness and diversity and not a problem. The following are the need and importance of inclusive education. First, to fulfill the constitutional responsibilities. Second, to enable children to stay with their families. Third, for the development of healthy citizenship. Fourth, for achieving the universalization. Fifth, developing feeling of self-respect. Next, for social equality. And last, for self-reliant. So there are 5 processes of inclusive education: the awareness rising, the parent support, the policies, teachers training, specialized techniques. In awareness rising, on the right to education for all children at local, regional, and national level. Parent supports to understand their children's educational, social, and sometimes medical needs. Policies, developing inclusive education policies, revising existing policies. So teacher training programs to promote inclusive practices. And in number 5, specialized techniques for teaching children with a range of learning and communication styles and needs. The following are the role of a teacher in inclusive education: interaction with family, to be able to solve their problem, to develop new learning strategies, to be able to develop self-confidence, to be able to provide special facilities, to be able to look after their personal needs, to be able to recognize their hidden talents, and to inculcate positive attitude in the able-bodied children. That would be all for this session. Again, this is Teacher Annie saying have a nice day and please be safe. Goodbye.